Okay.
We're not muted anymore.
We're not muted anymore.
Oh, good. I was just about to talk about all
Intro,
of our
you guys don't know the intro. Okay, just imagine that I just did the intro again. Anyways, last week's Q&A. It did happen. If you were here for it, bonus, well done. If you didn't, it's gone forever. Not Frederick. Didn't get that.
Didn't get that, sorry, that's all.
Anyways, the Zeah stuff that was shown last week that will be shown, I think, after today's stream, the Let's Design Zeah live stream. Yes? Yes. A thumbs down. Maybe. Okay, you will see it eventually, don't worry. All right, let's get into the questions. Actually, before that, today's updates. We had updates today. The skill K perks, do you have them all memorized?
Oh, yeah, well, that's going to be a challenge. Let's see. So we've got Attack, which lets you into the Warriors Guild Cyclops areas. It does now include the basement without the need for tokens. Strength is unlimited teleports to the Warriors Guild. Defense is a built-in permanent ring of life that you can switch off if you don't want. What's next on my list? Range is an Arbiter's Accumulator. Prayer acts as a Holy Wrench, but doesn't stack with the Holy Wrench or with the Ring of the Gods. Magic gives you one spellbook swap spell per day, which does turn back after 2 minutes if you don't use it. And what's next? Runecraft is all tiaras. Construction is 5 daily teleports to any of the POH portals. Hit points makes your hit points restored twice as fast. It does stack with the regen, doesn't stack with the rapid restore prayer. This is going to take a while.
Crafting.
I can't remember the list of skills.
Crafting.
Agility is next. That is a graceful cape. Also has weight reduction and functions as part of the set. Then crafting.
Yes.
I feel like I missed one. No,
Do
Herblore.
that one.
Herblore has a pestle and mortar that you can search it for a pestle and mortar, and it has the desert hard reward that the Nardar herbalist will combine unfinished potions for you for 200 GP each. Now it's crafting. That teleports you to the crafting guild. It is inside. It's about 4 ticks from the bank, so it's not ridiculously overpowered, but still very useful. Thieving is a 10% thieving chance boost everywhere, and stacks with RD Diary and maybe Gloves of Silence. I can't remember that part. Fletching, you can search for a mithril grapple and a crossbow 3 times per day, provided you're not already carrying one. Slayer, when you're wearing a Slayer cape, when you go and get a Slayer task, there is a 10% chance that you'll get assigned to the same task again, or at least be offered it. You don't have to take it. Hunter has 5 daily teleports to red or black chin chompers. Mining has a 5% chance of finding another ore, and that does stack with Barrack Diary. Smithing is built-in goldsmithing gauntlets, so you can wear other gloves. Not that that's entirely useful, but saves you doing the quest. Fishing is... What's fishing? Unlimited teleports to the fishing guild. Cooking means you never burn any fish again, ever, which only really applies to dark crabs, manta rays, and sea turtles.
How many skills do we have?
23. What's after cooking? Woodcutting and firemaking. Woodcutting is a 10% higher chance of finding a bird's nest. Firemaking is a built-in lantern, so it lights up areas when you've got it equipped. And farming is a 5% higher crop yield from your herbs, and the max cape has the lot.
Oh, that's pretty impressive. Can't fault that.
Wait, what did you say?
I did not expect an answer when I said, can you name all of them? Right. Where is Ash and Jed?
Ash is a little bit sick. He is in the office, he's upstairs. He would have been coughing and spluttering down the microphone, so he is sorry that he can't make it. And I'm not sure where Jed is, actually.
Jed does well.
Jed is writing the Christmas event.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, if you missed last week's Q&A, again, you did miss seeing Jed. You'll never see him again, unfortunately. That was his only appearance.
That's
ever.
right, yeah. We're going to keep him under a blanket, and if he does appear on here, it will be in a paper bag. You scared him that much? No, not really.
I think the Q&A a week, maybe 2 weeks from now, he's probably going to show up.
Yeah, 17th of December, which is our last Q&A before Christmas. We're all going to be on here.
Is that last Q&A of the year?
It's on the year, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So we'll all go on it and all sit here and have to be best friends.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn. Next question. Actually, first question, sorry. Cheese asks, can you remove the dialogue from when you buy a Shantae pass asking if you are sure?
That is rather annoying.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Yes, why not?
Obviously, the answer is yes, that can be removed. Is
There's no balancing
breaking
issues
the
behind
game?
it at
No,
all,
okay.
is it, really? No.
Also, can we have the ability to bribe the guard? So if you're even lazier than to buy a pass and you have cash in your inventory,
You said,
bribe the guard.
okay, I don't see a reason not to.
Yeah, why not?
I feel like I'm going to check my Twitter after this stream and I'm going to have like 50 tweets from Hex. It's like, this breaks everything.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's there as start with the lore thing to show people are going into a dangerous place and a safety thing more than anything. It's not a balancing issue, is it?
Yeah.
I swear at one point it had a quick pass. Like right-click the gate and it had a quick pass.
It does, yeah. I think it was done a couple of years after our build.
Yeah.
There's no reason we can't have the same features.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
The warning would still have to be present X amount of times before you can disable it, so there's no issues there, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Last suggestion actually for that was saying perhaps with the hard diaries, a free pass like that.
Yeah, happy to.
Throw that
stick
into the
that on
diaries.
Yeah, makes sense, doesn't it?
Cool. Okay. Rukia asks, can the Penance Queen pet have an option to transform into a Penance Fighter, Ranger, Healer, or Runner? Such a rare pet should be worthwhile getting.
I agree. Happy to make that change again, but it needs polling. It's a quick one to make as well.
It's a lot of transmogs though. Changing into, was that
Yeah.
one,
Can-
two,
Put up
three,
a menu
four?
or something.
That's probably the most difficult pet to get in the game, would
It
you
is.
say?
It's
Yeah.
roughly 500 hours or so on average. I think we've only got like 3 or 4.
It's mad. Wait, 3 or 4?
It's
It's got to be more than 3 or 4.
There's definitely
no,
more
wait, no,
than-
we've got numbers, and I tweeted it was like 70 something. What am I saying? I'm total idiot.
That's still not very many.
I thought there was only 3 or 4 before those numbers came out. Excuse
Yeah.
me. Level 3's got one.
Level 3 has a lot.
Cool. So that's not much more than just shrinking down the NPCs then, is it?
Yeah, just create new NPCs with a
Okay.
slightly smaller size. It's
So
a
it
little
is-
bit artificial having the queen sort of randomly transform into a runner.
I mean, having a mini version of the Queen is pretty artificial as well.
That's also true,
Yeah.
so I'm happy to let that one slide.
All right. RGB asks, can Zeah introduce new vegetables and fruits? Sweet potatoes, grapefruits, dragon fruit, etc.
So
Surprised by
introducing,
this.
yeah, it's introducing a new crop, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's happening, which I don't know if we've told them about it. If we haven't told them about it, you would have to wait and find out. And if we have told you about it, you know about it already.
If they saw last week's stream,
Oh,
they
there's
were
was on there, was
fortunate
it?
to tune in. There was
Yeah.
a little sneak peek there.
Yeah. So yeah, okay. There's some new fruits in that. They're not real fruits, so they're not dragon fruits or other crops. But that's it at the moment for them.
I mean, there's nothing stopping us adding any amount of things you can farm / grow. It's just what they want them to do and whether there's any value in actually adding it.
Yeah.
It's,
Is there any spaces for some?
we'd have to... Actually, no, on trees, I don't think so. I think we used up all of that bar space. We'd have to come up with a new farming system, but something like grapevines
Yes.
What
comes
is
to
dragon
mind.
fruit?
Oh yeah, they can do grapevines, can't they?
Yeah.
Of course they can. On Zeah, you can grow grapes. That's new
Yeah.
in the Grape Pass.
Okay. I see those being like purple sweets almost. Like being able to carry just a ton of them and then they heal like
It's
one
quite funny.
per-
The first
per bite.
version of them was like this big go when they created the initial version of the grapes. It was just this hard diamond-shaped purple thing, like that, and it was really hard edges and it's like that. That doesn't look like a grape. It looks like something you'd get out of a mobile game.
Maybe like a
So
basket.
they had to work on that a bit.
A basket of strawberries
Yeah, but
and grapes.
yeah, but they got grapes. They're going to have grapes to make, which will be quite cool.
Hissing's back. Just kidding, it's John. Alright. What about a magic watering can? Watching what we displayed with Zeah last week, the magic watering can would be OP.
We can disable it in certain areas if we like in the Tide minigame.
Yep.
If that's a concern, or at least reduce its functionality in there,
Okay.
as Brent taking it in, etc. I think a bottomless watering can would be a suitable reward for that from that minigame actually.
Yeah?
I'm be interested to see how well it goes down with the community. Could we get a straw poll for it, maybe, Maz?
Yep.
Would you like to see a bottomless watering can?
Seeing Alfie playing that mini game last week, he only did a bit of it all, but it looked really fun.
Yeah,
It was
did look very
farming, and I
fun.
was like pretty excited. By
It's
that.
efficient
That's-
farming though. If
I
you're-
can't wait to see the various different routes people come up with to try and find the most efficient path. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Next question. Not Ross asks, could we see more accessible locations for the Eagle transport system, being a reward from the Eagle's Peak quest, perhaps with Zeah?
We do have scope because we've got a mountain.
Yeah.
Not far from.
Yeah, there is a mountain. I mean, we're not going to do anything specifically great with that mountain until June.
Right.
So we could do, but would an eagle fly across AC?
Sure.
I know an albatross probably would, but I don't know if an eagle would.
Yes.
Does it? Eagles apparently do fly across the sea, so yeah, why not?
Unless they're lazy eagles, take a boat.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are looking to plant some more, was it spirit trees with Monkey Madness 2? So, got to take that into consideration too, but yeah, free teleports, one there.
Yeah, we've also got a spirit tree in Koren, actually.
Yes,
New spirit
that's true,
tree.
yeah.
Got the results back there. Would you like to see a bottomless watering can, the magic watering can, at 77% saying yes?
Wow.
A fair few.
I think we'll be discussing that one in the near future then.
That'd be an interesting reward. Quite fitting. Okay. Next question then. Badger asks, could the hit points guide include a list of foods as well as their healing values?
Yeah, it's a simple thing to do. I'll get that done.
Okay.
I'll just do it.
Divide asks, when might we get to see more updates to Bounty Hunter? So he's got a couple options here we've discussed previously, and so we'd like it, but they're not really the top of the priority list, like skip your target option, I suppose just logging in and out. Here's an idea here about being able to skull by right-clicking the emblem. Thoughts?
Given that you can already skull by just going to the emblem trader, it seems.
Yeah. Although...
I can just see that being used in various scams and lures and things otherwise.
That's not a bad point. I was thinking more in a PvP world, if you were saying like Verakan didn't want to run all the way to Edgeville to get a skull.
That's true.
Or there wasn't anybody to hit or something, but it's not a bad
it's
point.
not that difficult to get hold of a skull.
Fair enough. Okay. Let's see here. Bounty Hunter high scores already. The ability to see which tier emblem your target is carrying. That's a cool idea.
That's
Because
interesting.
often you'll have a target that'll lie and say, I've got a tier 9 or whatever. They'll actually have a tier 1.
That's part of the fun, isn't it, though? When you kill them, you're not sure what you've got until they've you right-click the pile.
It's not too fun when you kill them. Yeah, I thought that was a kind of cool idea. All right. Fluffy, any plans to make animal farming a thing in Zeah? Your own personal cows or even dragons that you can farm at a high level, perhaps a mini-game?
You will be growing whatever, animals, yes.
Yes.
Is there.
Yeah.
Might not be on the first batch at the beginning of
Almost
January,
certainly
but
won't be, no.
you will get it at some point in the next coming months.
Cool. All right. It's nowhere near summoning. They're not going to like carry your items for you and follow you around.
No, it's,
And
I mean,
kill
it's not
things
going to
for
be a
you.
case of you grow an animal, you then walk around with a dragon under your arm or something. You know, it's going to be a case of you grow the pigs, you can then kill the pigs to get some bacon or something, I don't know.
Poor pigs.
But something along those lines. So
Is it
it's
just
not.
me that feels like the word grow is not the correct word? James
Well,
getting really weird.
husbandry is the correct.
Yeah, but I don't want to use animal husbandry because I don't think there'd be a huge amount of people who understand what it is. But
Sounds weird.
yeah, it's you. What do you do? You bring them up. You raise. Yeah,
Breed.
yeah. You what? Sorry.
You raise them, you
Breed 'em.
feed them, you put
You
them
breed
under a
them. Yeah, you
roof,
breed
send
the
them to
animals.
school.
Breed pigs.
Kill
Oh,
them.
we'll put bacon in because everybody likes bacon. Don't know what you'll do with it. You'll just walk around with lumps of bacon in your bank, and that'll be it.
When you've died, it just magically brings you back to life, like on a Saturday morning.
Put it between bread and make a bacon sandwich that you can then give to the sandwich lady and say, "Why didn't you ever give me one of these in the last 10 years I've played?"
She's vegetarian.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Anyway, so pigs, cows, grow them, kill them, stuff that'll happen.
Realistic with
Not
bacon,
growing
I
a
think.
bunyip or a pack yak or anything and walking around with it. It's not that at all.
Yeah. You could add little bacon bits to things.
Yeah.
Like tuna potato.
Bacon today, yeah, tuna potato, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're getting off topic.
We could
Yeah.
just do bacon on bacon on bacon, like a mountain of bacon.
Oh, did you see that YouTube video of a bloke who cooked is it bird in a bird in a bird in a pig?
Oh, was it
where
like-
he
it was
got
like a pigeon
he got
inside a
a
chicken?
pigeon. He put it inside of a bigger
Oh.
bird, inside of a bigger bird, then put it inside of a pig, and then put it inside of a cow, and then cooked the entire lot, and it ended up with just cut this big lump of meat, and it was like 20,000 calories, just this big lump of meat of all different animals.
That's terrible.
You should watch it; it's fantastic.
Don't know what that.
Was he Russian?
Okay.
It could have been.
Um,
It was very quick anyway.
all right. Snag. Hey guys, I was wondering why the angler outfit weighs such an absurd amount. It weighs a whopping 34 kg compared to the lumberjack outfit, which is 2.6 kg.
I did ask Kieran this. His response was that you're carrying a lot of fishing equipment with you. And fishing equipment apparently weighs a lot. Not that you can use any of the fishing equipment you're carrying because you'd still have to actually carry a fishing rod.
Yeah.
That was the answer he gave. He made that. I'm not changing it without his consent.
It's like what's that? Like 11 times the weight.
Yeah, it's not like there's a reason to change it either. You don't go running for miles when you do cooking, do you?
Well, no, but he was just saying.
Fishing,
like,
yeah, sorry.
He noticed his energy was quite low whenever he was wearing it. Fair question. To
Well,
be
the bacon
honest.
sandwich will help him out then.
All right.
Stamina potion.
Yeah.
Where are we? General, when will we get to know more about the Clan Cup?
They know loads already. If you haven't seen it yet, your leader should have sent you a link to the Clan Cup website, which I'm not going to try and recite on stream here. If you haven't seen it yet, check my Twitter at JagXRonan. You'll be able to find a link there. All of the information you need is there. That's not shameless.
Look at
Come
that
on.
plug.
That's necessary.
Don't follow him.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of the information you need is there. If you have any more questions, send them to oldschoolcommunity@jagx.com and I'll make sure to get back to you, despite what Reddit tells you.
Yeah. Indeed, it doesn't he delete your emails?
They weren't deleted. Okay, but yeah, and one note for people that are participating in the Skilling Cup, which is stored experience is against the rules. We're going to be checking all of the top 5 hours for each clan, and if you've used stored XP to get that top hour, then we'll be discounting that hour completely. So don't use stored XP.
Right. Next question. Howl of Wind asks, can we possibly see an old Christmas rewards return, such as the snow globe that gives you snowballs and the snowman dance emote to be added with this year's event?
Yeah, they were both from 2008, I believe. There's no chance of seeing them this year. We just don't have the graphics time with the continent on the horizon, but maybe next year.
Cool.
We could offer
Actually,
them.
yeah, no, I think they're nice ones to do, aren't they?
Right. This one's from Dr. Zoidberg. He says, in 2007, RuneScape was labeled as a fantasy/medieval game. As I'm watching the Zeah streams, I can't help but notice it's now leaning to more towards fantasy than medieval. Will this continue?
Everything is sort of fantasy, medieval sort of esque. I mean, it's a fantasy game set in the medieval time.
Yeah.
You know, it's different takes on it. I mean, it's not fantasy set in the future, or yeah, I don't think it is not medieval anymore. And
Okay.
Zeah certainly will feel medieval and will be medieval. That in our mind, that's what it's designed as.
Yeah. Can't necessarily limit ourselves to all the things that classify as medieval, right?
Yeah.
I just think like sword and armor, like a full set of rune with like a rune simi, which will always be in the game, but they won't be the best.
Yeah.
So
I mean, all the good stuff is, all the good items are fantasy items. They're not medieval items. So you look at the top end armor, they're all fantasy because they don't exist in a medieval world. You know, your Bandos armor and all that sort of stuff. Your dragon armor doesn't exist in a medieval world, but they are medieval types of armor.
Yeah.
And we've maintained that. I mean, the style of the new continent is medieval. You know, it is in that style. It's designed in that style.
Yeah,
still slaying dragons and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
And while the top end items might not be specifically medieval, the way you obtain them, I'd say, was. So you go and kill something, it drops something useful, and you then adapt it and make it useful to yourself.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. So, no, I don't think it is changing. And it will always aim to be a medieval fantasy game within the realms of what Old School is.
Sailing was very prominent in the medieval times.
Absolutely, sailing was, yeah, yeah. As were,
Sailing.
as were artisans, and
I don't know if they explored many dungeons, though.
there must have been dungeons around somewhere.
Surely. All right. Good question, though. Smog asks, can you explain how necromancy differs from summoning?
Yes. So, summoning, I don't want to give too much away on necromancy because it's all about finding out what you guys want, you guys finding out what it's all about. But summoning, obviously, you create a creature. You then use that creature to do something useful for you. Necromancy is the entire opposite way around. You'll get corpses of creatures that you kill. You will then use your necromancy to resurrect them, reanimate those corpses, and then they will be fighting you rather than helping you. That's the basic difference.
As was done in medieval times.
As was done in medieval times, necromancy was a thing back then.
You just weren't there, so you can't vouch. So
Yeah, I was.
I'm saying they weren't. Yeah. Cello Jake asks, could we get more quests and not spoil them with polls? So he's saying, can you poll just the quest and the contents of the rewards, but not actually like the storyline and all that.
Well, that is what we're planning to do with Monkey Madness 2.
Yeah.
Not going to be revealing what happens throughout the quest. till it's been released.
We make an effort to do that with most content that would be like less impactful if the details are out there. Like with Zora, we didn't say a thing about the mechanics until it was in the game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we try and do that with all the bosses, and I imagine we'll do it with quests as well.
Definitely. All right. Parrot asks, will seasons ever be taken into consideration with Dead Men mode?
Yeah, and again, if it's the right thing to do, that's what we'll do. Dead Man mode, the way it's going at the moment is there's about, what, 22,000 people playing it every day, I think, at the moment, which is, you know, much better than we ever expected it to be. Long-term projections are that it will remain as popular as Iron Man is now. So, you know, that's quite good. If it's the right thing to do seasons for it, we will do it. If it's not, we won't. There's lots of ifs and buts and things that we could do. One scenario is we're planning to do another tournament at Easter. And if we do a tournament at Easter, what we could do is base that in Dead Man, have a Dead Man type of tournament, and then at that time we could sort of start the seasons at that time and have sort of this big event surrounding it. But if it's not the right thing to do, we won't do that. The other thing is, yeah, it could well be that it just ticks along nicely for the next, you know, 3-4 years, and do it that way. Or, you know, it could be that, you know, no one's playing it in a month's time, and we're like, right, well, let's put them all back to normal worlds. But we just don't know.
Yep.
It's a month in, it's 5 weeks in. Need to get an awful lot more data before we worry
I
about.
knew that was coming.
Yeah, an awful lot more data before we worry about the long-term effects of it. It's still very much in the initial period, so let's play that by ear.
Cool.
But there's lots of things we can do, and we're happy to do anything as long as it's right for the game mode. We will do that.
There are lots of things we can do, as we discussed, I think, 2 Q&As, or was it last Q&A? We talked about the quote-unquote Battle Royale type theme.
Absolutely.
That piqued the interest of some people. That was essentially just a really cool kind of spin-off of Dead Man mode, almost like survivalist, just kind of really fun stuff that we can really just play with. So
yeah, I mean, what Dead Man mode did, which I think's worked really well, in fact you said it earlier today, I think, was that it made people suddenly go, actually, Old School isn't just Old School, it can be these other things as well. So people are starting thinking outside of what Old School was before Dead Man came out, and you know, they're coming up with these ideas, and that's all sort of branching off there. So the Battle Royale one is a big one, which is quite exciting. It'll be an interesting one to do. So all sorts of stuff we can do.
Yeah, cool. Okay, Neef asks, does the Slayer helmet have an effect on your cannon's hits? It's quite curious this. Ash has an answer if you want me to read that.
Oh yeah, I was going to say, I don't know, so if
Okay.
Ash would.
So Ash obviously isn't here right now. He said, no, it doesn't. The cannon's accuracy depends on your accuracy, taking into account your stat boosts, stance, prayers, and standard equipment bonuses, but it does not include bonuses that depend on the target, an example being the Salve Amulet or the Slayer Helmet. It's a bit odd that the cannon was written to depend on your own stats and bonuses to such an extent, but we have not attempted to change it, since that's the old school behavior. There you go.
Sounds like an Ash answer.
Answer is no. But a lot of stuff does play into how hard your cannon does hit, so there you go. Aerodynamics asks, why was there no Thanksgiving event?
Didn't have time for one. That's basically what it boiled down to. I mean, it's whenever we do it, it's usually a tiny little thing anyway. So we sort of have to sit there and think, right, we have, you know, this amount of people available to make Old School stuff. Do we spend these people doing something like, you know, Thanksgiving event and then stop everything else for a little while, which is going to have a minimal impact, or do we try and get Zeah out, which is, you know, what everyone's focusing on at the moment. So that's why we made that decision.
Yeah, I figured it was.
To be honest with you, until you said that, I haven't heard anybody say what happened to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I think we made the right call there.
Although for the 2 days after Thanksgiving, the 2 most spoken words in Old School were thanks and happy.
Yeah, there we go.
Maybe they like to
They've been watching Happy Feet.
Yeah. I was going to say, I figured
Thank everybody for sending around Happy Feet.
wasn't as recognized of an event around the world. And the dates are different versus like Canada and America. You guys don't celebrate it here.
No.
So
On my community stream, I think it was a community stream, the chat couldn't believe that we didn't have Thanksgiving in England. It just completely blew their mind.
surely you're thankful for something and you enjoy turkey.
Yeah.
Come on.
I did have a Thanksgiving. It's
What did
awesome.
I do on
I
the
didn't.
Thursday? What day was it? I don't think I can't remember what I did on that Thursday.
Same old. Like
Yeah,
KFC or
came
something.
to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Forlorn King asks, can guards in Dead Men mode have drops? I killed one but only got bones. I would have liked to see that. But thinking about this, had an idea. Inspired by a question, actually, but I'll take some of the credit. Imagine we let them kill them, right? Extremely difficult to kill, as they are, and they fight back damn good. Almost impossibly. I'm still curious how we killed it. But imagine we gave them something similar to like PvP armors. So like Revenants, basically.
I'd like to put PvP armors into Deadman mode. PvP
It's a PKing
armors.
game mode.
Yeah.
They're PKing weapons.
PvP armors, Dragon Claws. I'd like to get into
Oh.
Deadman mode.
Really?
Please tell me you're not joking.
Yeah, I'd love to get Dragon Claws to Deadman mode.
I can't tell anymore.
Yeah.
I'd like declaws and normal Old School.
I was thinking Revenant.
We were speaking about it the other day,
Treat them
weren't we?
like that.
The other week, getting declaws in it. We could have them available only for a limited period as well, so you can once you've had them for a week, they disappear. And then we can have sort of special week events, Deadman mode with declaws week and stuff like that.
Declaws,
I was thinking saving that for like the Battle Royale. Sounds
Yeah,
pretty cool.
absolutely, we could do it with that as well. So, but this is sort of what I was saying earlier about how we're sort of able to look outside of what's normally acceptable within Old School. And for Deadman mode in particular, because it's such a PvP focused thing, we can do stuff that players just wouldn't accept in the Old School game normally. So we could stick in your Dragon Claws, we could stick in your
Divine
PvP
Spirit
armors, we
Shield.
could
Yeah.
stick in Divine Spirit Shield, we
Caressy.
could do.
Caressy, don't
Ring of
even
Vigor.
dare.
Oh, if you're taking one, you've
Get
got
off.
to.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
So we could do all that stuff if we really wanted to.
Yeah.
In fact, do you think we ought to? I would do a straw poll on whether we should add Dragon Claws
Oh,
to
man.
Deadman mode.
Wait, just Dragon Claws or like everything we've just...
Just Dragon Claws.
Just
Let's keep
Dragon
it simple. Don't want to confuse them too much.
Assuming the method that we put them into the game was quite balanced, and it's not just like, everybody gets Dragon Claws.
Yeah. 10 GP
We
from
will
your
let you guys vote
general
on that
store.
right now. It'll be in the chat momentarily. I expect to see a lot of votes on this poll. This will be a big one.
It is a binding poll, this one, by the way.
It's funny. This is the actual Old School poll.
This is it, yeah.
It's not really.
But I think that sounds like quite a good idea.
Treating guards as revenants, I don't know.
You could do,
I
maybe
just
they
thought
only
that was
drop
kinda
from,
cool.
maybe they only drop from guards.
Yeah.
So you have to kill a guard to get a chance of getting. Oh, that's a risk and a half.
The
Isn't
way
it?
right now is guards hit a third of your damage each hit,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Like, there's no way you can kill one unless you're with a team.
Pretty
in
certain I
multi.
saw someone get hit for a 57 on stream.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How
That'd be
they
interesting.
hit a third. But, wow.
Look at that, eh?
That's nearly passing. That's crazy. 73%, 73,
Yeah.
for the Dragon Claws. 1,500 total votes. That's a lot better than I expected. This
Yeah.
is just in Deadman mode, guys. This isn't in Old School. Dragon Claws are
Yeah.
not coming to Old School. But perhaps in Deadman it might be worth
Absolutely.
considering. It's a PK mode. They're a PK weapon, obviously.
Yeah.
Damn exciting.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 73, yes, indeed. You
Probably
said
never on
73,
record, but
so spam that forever now.
just running past the guy with Dragon Claws and Deadman just makes me want to, like, run away.
Won't change anything
It's
then.
exciting. Cool. Okay. Next question then. This one actually has an image. It's a guy named Limpwort. Says, please consider implementing an update to the Karamja gloves that will allow the user to morph them into a matching pair of diary gloves for the rest of the diary armor set. Tiers 1, 2, and 3 still don't match.
I'd like
As
to
you
just
can
change
see.
them, in all honesty. I have to poll it, of course, but now that we do have sets, it doesn't make too much sense to not have the original colours. I mean, the green is there as, because that's the colour you associate with Karamja, because it's mostly jungle. And they're actually made out of leaves. But I'm sure our artists can carry that behaviour over and still make them fit in with the new sets.
I figured you just turn them inside out and they happen to be white on the inside. There you go. Or silver. Alright. Flipping over. Metallic Mage asks, can the chests from the tournament worlds be used for the clan cup so everybody has a fair advantage in terms of gear? Bit late? Do you think?
Yeah.
I think having the gear is also what helps make the clan
Yes.
good, isn't it? It's one of the reasons behind it. If you're a clan that's got 5,000 sets of room to throw away on a free-to-play returning war, then you probably ought to be recognised having 5,000 sets of room to throw away.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be doing anything like that, especially since it starts tomorrow. So, yeah, a bit late.
Just a tad bit. Alright, next question. Anku asks, when will we get to see the addition of the old 2005 interface that we've spoken about?
Next year at some point, I would expect.
Yeah. Coder asks, can the wilderness in Dead Man also have levels so we know how far out we are? We've replaced that currently with the, scope
Yes, yeah,
thing.
for teleporting, I guess, is the issue,
Yeah.
isn't it? And also for navigation, because a lot of people use the levels to go, right, I'll go to this level, then right.
Right. So you can work it to like your knowledge of the wilderness, which some people know how to make their way around. They know where the multi-lines are. They know everything. Others are a little lost. You could probably appreciate being told where they were,
Yeah, we can put that back.
Yeah,
especially since we don't have a map.
sure we can find a nice way to stick it up there somehow.
Okay. Durgles asks, can you remove the ability to alch while in combat in deadman mode? So this has recently come up.
People alching their goods.
Yeah, it takes 10 seconds to destroy a key, but you can alch it instead if you.
Yeah, probably
you
to deal with
have
that then, yeah,
Yeah,
makes
Who's
sense.
going through the effort to bring nuts just so they can spike the person that kills it? That's such
Or
a...
if you have like a whip and somebody's going to kill you for your whip, you can just alch it instead.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take that, low alch it. Here's enjoy your 8k.
Indeed.
Okay.
I remember in the main game, I used to
really
stand there
interesting.
alching party hats in front of people. It used to be quite entertaining. How much GP do you get for it? You get 1 GP, right? No, nothing.
Next question then. Patamon says, can anything be done about dead clicks? A couple questions about this today. One soloing Zilliana and one killing Court Beast, saying that they've clicked a couple times in certain spots.
Not so sure that's actually a dead click, more than just they're aiming to click on the corpse to attack him because his head's moved. By turning around, they've just missed and maybe walked through him. Does that sound a bit more familiar? Because I know that's a bit of an issue.
The picture I was looking at, he was clicking on the body, not the head, like the back from an aerial view.
Yeah, that's not what I consider a dead click. A dead click is where you click and nothing happens, whereas that still would have registered, but not as an attack. It
That's
would have
right.
walked through, yeah.
He would have walked there. Yeah.
We'd have to, I think, this is one that Ash would love to answer, I'm sure, just increase the click radius of the NPCs and
Okay.
maybe address it like that. But have to be careful, it doesn't get too large and starts clicking with anything.
Okay.
Yeah, and Zilliana's another fair one. I've had issues there as well.
Is that something that people should report through the bug report feature then, or?
It's more feedback than a bug, but
Okay.
yeah, if it comes through, we'll see if we can address it.
Cool.
They're not quick fixes, though, so they may take us a few weeks to get around to it.
Fair. Laceless asks, can we get a right-click join world option, please?
On the friends lists,
Yep.
that was inevitable after we did Quick Hop. It's something we've discussed and want to do, provided it passes a poll, but it'll have to wait till next year.
Okay.
There's no issues with it at all.
Pineapple asks, will Zeah introduce tier 80 gear?
No.
No. There you go.
There'll be a few bits of armour, but they're mainly cosmetic, so they're there to look nice and to collect and be proud that you've got, but not anything out of the ordinary.
It's probably a good answer. If you said yes, I can imagine the chat right
Yeah. Yes, we thought we wouldn't poll it.
Eggs asks, will Old School ever receive a new batch of sound effects? Some of them are quite harsh, and thus most players play without them.
Ever is a long time, so we can't really say yes or no, but it's not in a pipeline.
Yeah,
anytime
I
soon.
wouldn't hold your breath at all for it, in all honesty.
I think some of them are quite harsh, but at the same time,
They're iconic.
yeah, exactly. Like you hear old school sounds, it's nostalgic. It's how you can't take that away. I don't think.
I think
Fair.
Ian told me once that some of the original sounds for the game, way back in Classic, which some of them would have come to Old School with, was just Paul and Andrew and Ian just like smashing things in the kitchen.
Yes. Cooking bacon. Ian's mum, I don't know if it's true or not, but Ian's mum cooking bacon was the cooking sound.
It sounds like it.
Apparently,
Yeah, it does
yeah.
sound like that.
I don't know, Ian will tell you if it's true or not, but it's one of the rumours.
All right. Okay, so we're here. So this is the big suggestion of the week, recently getting a lot of attention from Capopolo. He's suggesting a Firemaking buffs the dwarf cannon. So I'm going to try to go into detail here without reading everything. Firemaking is quite useless. I'm suggesting upgraded cannon parts to combat that. So he says at 80 Firemaking you get to upgrade 1 part, 85 2 parts, etc. Barrels, you would increase the max cannonballs loaded from 30 to 45. The stand would take twice as long for the cannon to decay. Furnace would increase the damage by 10%, making the new max hit 33, so 30. And the base would increase your accuracy by 10%. So
It's a pretty cool concept, but I'm not sure how having a high fire-making level actually directly relates to any of those.
That's
this is true.
every suggestion we get about firemaking tends
Yeah.
to be just to give firemaking a use, rather than because it is something that really fits in with what firemaking is. I feel like that's a bit of a downside to him.
Okay, this just in. The cannon uses gunpowder, which is firemaking.
Does that
It's
mean we
not.
get guns?
It's herb law, isn't it, gun?
And the hand
Yeah,
cannon.
it's
Making gunpowder.
Herbal.
Yes.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Setting fire to gunpowder is probably the easiest thing in the world you can do.
It wouldn't require a high
Takes 99
firemaking. Yeah.
We did come up with our own concept of something to do with firemaking, haven't we? That we got on the back burner, which is something called, I can't remember all the details, but something called fire pits, where you create a pit in the ground, fill it full of logs, set fire to that, and you can do things on that which you couldn't normally do. I can't remember all the details behind it at all, but it gives you better cooking chances and whatnot. Replenishes your health and stuff and things like that.
We've also got the skilling boss that will
Yes.
utilise firemaking quite heavily.
Yeah.
That will be June
Probably before that, I would imagine.
Or maybe even before
Yeah.
June next year, but
I
it'll
expect it to be before that.
be on the continent somewhere.
Yes, no, it's not like bonfires where
No.
you build a thing and you just lob loads of logs on forever and ever. This is something you do personally. You go to a fire pit spot, you then put your own logs in it, you set fire to it, and it makes a flame fire pit, and then you do stuff on that yourself. You don't keep chucking on more logs. It will go out, you have to restart it again, and then you can do more things. But yeah, it's not like a bonfire.
You predict the bonfire span before it even happened.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
I was sitting there going, should I qualify bonfires
Yeah.
first? I was like, no, they're sensible.
As for the cannon perks, though, I think that's a couple interesting ideas.
That's noteworthy. I like those ideas.
Yeah, just maybe not for firemaking.
No.
It sounds like a smithing thing, if anything. You want to
Yeah,
reforge the cannon part stronger, don't you?
Yep.
Make rings to go around it, for example, to stop it splitting and degrading, which is what used to happen with drill cannons.
Okay.
1346, Battle of Calais.
Considering how useless firemaking is.
Were you there?
I was.
Oh man. You won cooking, John, because Matt just got burnt. Oh, okay.
Wow. Living
Just-
meme.
Just,
I want to sit
Stole-
further away from you for
stole
that.
it from
That
you.
was that bad.
it's all right. Can we just take a minute to appreciate the fact that with how useless firemaking is, there are, I think it was 14 people with over 100 mil firemaking experience.
That's some commitment, isn't it?
Don't underestimate the
some
power of
commitment.
numbers.
Probably ought
Yeah.
to send their names and addresses to some organisation to help them, really, shouldn't we?
Wow.
No, I'd send the list of people with 200 mil mining.
All right. Let's see where we are. Okay. Rear boss asks, can the attack cape's perk also apply to the downstairs Cyclops room? It does now. Ben Jones asks, thoughts on a pot similar to the super combat pot, but instead being for the defense mage and range. So super combat, but
Yeah, we discussed that a little bit just after the super combat potion went out. It's something that we've got space for. We'd like to do, just haven't quite got around to offering it yet. Really, that's
Don't.
the case.
I don't have the color for it either.
Yeah, we're going to have to start coming up with other ways to identify with
Stripy-
potions. Yeah,
stripy and
Yeah.
spotty ones.
Spotty ones. It's,
You have one that changes colour, so it's just sort of goes from one colour to another and fades through those colours, which will work quite nicely. I think that's.
Provided you
I'll get
don't-
shit on my head. Shit, I'm getting whatever. Someone's shaking their head at me to say that's not going to happen. So
Provided you don't take a sip and then the one stripe is gone and then it looks like whatever color is left, which will look like a different pot.
I mean, as it's a
That
liquid,
confused
a
people,
stripy
wouldn't
doesn't really work.
Yeah, unless we did vertical stripes. Which-
yeah.
Okay. Right, next question. Quincy asks, will we ever get beta access for Zeah?
No,
Not this batch.
No.
I can't see it happening.
That's
Next
the
one.
plan.
no, it's
The
coming out
closest-
beginning of January.
The closest you're going to get is staying tuned after our Q&As, including today's, and you'll get to watch the Let's Design Zeah live streams with Mod Ghost and Alfred. Right. Crass asks, are the skill cape perks final? If not, can the fletching perk be changed to act as a knife?
I'm going to say no to that one because the sheer amount of time it would take to rewrite the way things are searched for is just not worth that benefit. We can make it give you a knife, but no, they're not final. We're still open to feedback. I've got a discussion going on Reddit at the moment for the magic skill cape and whether that spellbook swap should be a permanent one or if you want increased amount of teleports per day, for example. Sorry, spellbook swaps per day, for example. I think I want to have a look at the smithing one as well. So if you've got any ideas, just tweet them at us or drop them on the forums on Reddit. And we'll have to poll any further changes, but we're perfectly open to doing so.
Okay, cool. Ralph asks, can looting bags work in PvP worlds?
think we discussed this before.
I feel like we have asked this
Yeah.
before, but
There's no real need for it.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, it's abusable quite a lot, and the safest way to deal with it in PvP was just for them not to be there.
yeah, I'm just thinking resource gathering on a dead
Yeah.
PvP world, or then again, you might get hunted, so there's
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Elliot asks, if you are to add Battle Royale themed game modes, what will you do to stop people from teaming in solos? I haven't actually said that if we did do it, it would be solo.
Mm.
Um,
I assume he's comparing it to H1Z1, which everyone's doing at the moment, because that's where the idea came from, I think. In there is no solo mode, is there? It is you go in there and you can team with other people if you want, or you can just carry on. I don't see a point in making a solo mode.
that's kind of the name of the game. Like, it's just trust,
Yeah.
really. If you have a group of friends, that's all right. If not, then
Good luck.
good
Yeah.
luck. Yeah, try to make some friends when you're in game there. Throw your hands up in the air.
Mm.
Say mercy. But yeah, I figured we're not copying everything. We're not copying anything, but
Yeah.
we can do things a lot differently, and I don't think we'll be able to do anything solo.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think we can do anything to stop group combat being a thing.
Yeah.
I don't think that's just realistic. If for example, if we were to put in the PJ timer, we were to put in a single combat everywhere, you'd have a group of 3 people coming to get you. You'd kill one of them, you'd die to the next one. So there's no way to stop group combat at all. So we'll just accept it, and jobs are good.
If you do have any ideas, on the other hand, to combat that, to kind of help soloing, then by all means, go ahead and pitch them.
I think the key thing is just trying to make it so it's enjoyable for people that play solo, even if they might not win.
Yeah.
Just they have a good time playing it. Because as long as it is an enjoyable thing to do, then people will play it and get something out of it.
Yeah.
But with how fundamental teaming is in RuneScape, it's going to be pretty impossible to just completely wipe it out.
Right.
Although making the entire map single-way combat would go a long way towards achieving it. But
Even then, you've got
Still,
teams jumping
yeah.
in on you, and
Yeah.
it would be very, very difficult.
So for anybody not following, just a real quick, very rough explanation. Imagine joining a game mode or mini game, whatever it's going to be, and you're dropped in, you pick your spawn location, you fall there with friends or surrounded by enemies. Then there's little maybe crates or something surrounded around the area with weapons, dragon claws, whatever, what have you, myth longswords, etc. You can find supplies like food and whatnot, and the idea is to just kill everybody and make it to be the last one left, or the top 3 or whatever. And you get rewards based off that, and that's that. And after that game ends, the new one begins.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. Cool. So really looking forward to expanding on that, but that's still just an idea,
Yeah.
nothing more. So next question. Let's see here. Holden asks, when's the next bot busting stream?
Sunday the 13th of December.
Yeah.
I've been not answering that question solidly for so long on the community streams. Sunday 13th of December. Me and ModWeth and Modarchie will be there.
Yeah.
ModWeth won't be on the stream, but he will be about banning bots and whatnot, sending us names to go and murk them in game.
The first bot busting stream has like 1.2 million views.
It's crazy, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's a lot of fun to
Absolutely
watch
crazy.
though. It really is. Okay, next question then. Emiliano asks, what's your biggest goal you're trying to accomplish by the end of the year? Said almost finishing up the first batch of Zeah?
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I
about.
think, I want to be able to, everyone to enjoy Christmas Day knowing that Zeah is going to be fine. That's my aim.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's really boring.
There's not, that's the thing is, they know everything we're doing. There's no secret, hidden,
absolutely.
massive project we're going to launch on Christmas Day or anything, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
The Christmas event will be there, but yep. There's an image for this next one. Pirate Ship asks, suggestion actually, Corporal Beast Bones. So he says, basically people complain saying that the Corporal Beast isn't too terribly profitable unless you're insanely lucky. Perhaps giving it a bones drop. Not best in game, but
I'd happily make it best in game if it's coming from Corp.
Yeah.
There's certainly scope for it, and it'll be so difficult to get hold of, and their price will reflect that.
definitely wouldn't be able to get very many per hour.
No.
It'd be really rare.
Yeah.
Why is
You
it
don't want that anyway.
What is that? People don't like the corp dropping bones.
Well, no,
Doesn't make
it's
much
because it's
sense all of a
not.
sudden,
Yeah,
I suppose.
it's not a real animal, is it? It's a ethereal beast,
spirit.
so it doesn't have bones.
Ethereal corpse.
Yeah, maybe a massive pile of ash or something. You know.
Actually, you scatter.
Yeah, after you scatter on
There you go.
a bed.
Did that say that corp
Flower
wasn't
bed.
profitable?
He said it wasn't. I think,
It wasn't
I don't
profitable
know,
unless
I
you're
think
lucky,
so.
which I think is pretty
Yeah.
much what RuneScape is,
Yeah,
really, isn't
that
it?
is-
Quite frankly.
The
I
game,
think that's probably compared to the top profit rates.
it's
but-
not consistently profitable like other bosses.
And then you get an Ellie out of nowhere.
Yeah, but then you
and
get a
it's sort of-
250 mil Ellie split, and yeah, that's the beauty of bossing.
Right, next question then. Bones has another suggestion here. Make the obby staff act as a lava battle staff. I actually like this suggestion.
I
Go
see that
a lot
working,
for this
yeah.
staff.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
This
yeah.
one does make sense.
Yeah.
Although I still want to make the obsidian fence for a POH.
Obsidian fence.
Running
Yeah.
out of
Yeah.
staves.
Okay, that one is entirely doable. Red asks, when will the Christmas event be out?
17th of December-ish. Might be a couple of days before, might be a couple
Yeah.
of days after.
Yeah, basically we're aiming for either the Tuesday or the Thursday that week. So if we can do it for Tuesday, we will do it. If we can't do it for Tuesday, we'll do it on Thursday.
Cool. And are there any streams planned over the holidays?
Lots.
A bunch. I believe every Wednesday and Sunday.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
There'll be community streams, so you can get yourself crackers and party hats and Santa hats and all that. And then the last Q&A is going to be when?
17th.
17th?
Yeah.
So, yeah, loads.
We flew through these questions, and I had a lot this week because there were no massive knowledge bombs from Ash, I think. So we've got a bunch from the chat here. We're going to continue to grab a few, I think, but let's start at the top here. Decay Leet asks, will there be a faster way to train runecrafting at Zeah besides Blood and Soul runes?
No, nothing on Zeah will be faster. It will be better XP than what already exists. The whole idea behind it is that there are different ways of training many skills. So you've all seen the cooking mini game, which is really quite cool. The new way of farming, which is really quite cool. So there's lots of different ways to level skills, but nothing which will make anything of any significance redundant or in game already.
Like if you watched last week's streams, if you're lucky to see last week's stream, that farming minigame looked like a lot of fun, but it wasn't necessarily the best XP per hour.
Exactly. The cooking one though, the cooking one's going to be really quite cool as well. We've been playing that a little this week, and it's quite fun.
And it's worth noting as well, based on, well, for the people that actually saw last week's stream with the farming minigame, those were placeholder XP drops. They weren't finalised XP rates. So I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, it's rubbish XP, you've got to buff it.
Yeah, still yet to be balanced properly.
Okay. Psychedelic asks, bacon trimmed armor.
Well, you can see why he's got that name, can't you?
Bacon trimmed armor. That sounds OP.
Let's just move on.
Yeah. Edible armor. Okay.
We could call it Lady Gaga armor, couldn't we, or something? I made a pop
Rainbow
culture reference.
Dashi. Will a rest function ever be implemented? It's been a while since we said rest, actually. I've been ignoring
Unlikely.
it.
I mean, we gave you stamina potions in lieu of rest, so
Yes.
energy potions won't make completely redundant by the update. That's probably as close as you're ever going to get.
The
Yes.
only people that I really feel bad for in respect to rest not existing as free-to-play players. Past that, you've got stamina potions and graceful. It's so easy to keep your run energy up.
Yeah. All the more incentive to buy a bond. Walking everywhere.
Mod sell out.
Mod
It
sell
wasn't
out.
me this time.
Hey,
Well, hey, man.
I'm just thinking if I was free to play, I'd be chopping those used for a bond right now. Kip asks, can the Hard Desert Diary toggle the Glory teleport outside of the Alcarid Palace?
It could, needs polling. Not a huge fan of continually adding like more and more rewards to the diaries because they've been out for what, 9 months now.
Yeah, since February, wasn't it? Yeah.
So it's sort of getting beyond the point where we could just sort of offer the odd little thing to throw on. That one I'm happy to do. Just try and keep the requests down.
They won't. You know them.
Rustu, does the Thieving Cape perk work with Pyramid Plunder?
It does. TM. I think.
A confident
Check on
yes
that
from
one.
John there.
I'm just trying, looking for it in my head right now. I'm pretty sure it does.
Okay. Kunkaluda, can we have a Quest Cape perk? The perk would be all keys that you've gotten from all quests are part of the cape, so you don't need the quest keys to go into the quest doors.
I like that
That would be
idea.
really
I
cool.
like that.
As long as someone else writes that one.
Well, Kieran's doing the
He's done it.
key exam. Has
Yeah,
he done it
he's
already?
already done the exams.
Flipping heck.
The reason this quest cape wasn't included in the skill cape perks is because it's not a skill cape. The question keeps coming up, and that's
Yeah.
the answer. It's not a skill cape, it's a quest cape.
And they're going to ask for something for the music
The
cape
diary cape
and the diary cape.
and the minigame cape. Oh, it's not a thing yet.
Oh man. Press me down. Add a pin bank in. I'm gonna say I meant bank pin. In protected skill in deadman mode, so when you get hacked, people don't ruin your account.
Yeah, we can add some background protection to
Yeah.
changing that. Sounds like a decent.
Yes, that makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, the one thing I would say about that is rather than when you get hacked, it should say if you get hacked.
Yeah.
And if you
Yeah.
get hacked, then we will obviously turn around and say, why don't you have the authenticator on an authenticated email?
With a
And
two-step,
with
you
a
know,
two, yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So do that, and you will get hacked, hijacked. 'Cause you're not even getting hacked. Somebody's guessing your password.
Bambay, will there be any clue locations in Zeah?
Not with the initial launch. Rather than just adding like a couple just to go there for the sake of it, I'd like to do another clue scroll expansion.
Yeah, that's the right way to do it. Yeah,
Sometime next year, probably in the later part of the year.
yeah.
But a nice big, like load of new rewards, maybe even another tier of elite clue like Uber.
Absolutely.
That sounds awesome.
The Clue Scroll expansion was it's probably my favourite update to happen to Old School full stop.
It was one of my
Absolutely love that
favourites.
update.
Okay. Let's see here. Coastia? Will we see any double XP weekends? A lot of repeats.
Yeah, I should even ask that. Are we going to see any double Will XP weekends? No.
Yeah. If we
No.
straw pulled it, it would get like, what was the last time? Like 40%? No. We straw pulled if you would like half XP weekends, and that was at like 60 something percent.
Yes, exactly.
Unbelievable.
Exactly. So there we
Twitchy
go.
Tales. Can we get a boss and clue scroll high scores?
I'd like to do that at some point.
Yeah, I think we all would. It's
Yeah.
just finding the web team's time.
Yeah,
to get
it's
them
in the priorities of everything that goes on with our website. It is such a low priority that it's a nice thing to do, but that's about it. There's no great reason to do it from a business perspective.
Okay. Spud? With the introduction of the player-owned house update, could the lecterns receive an upgrade to the Lunar Isle teleport? Sorry, to create the Lunar teleport.
We don't have space to create a new lectern. I think there's already 7. We'd have to. I think it's doable without needing a new room. We should be able to just rebuild the interface with some new stuff. That's as much of the info I have. It's potentially possible, maybe ish. Is the best I've got. Sorry.
All right. Solid. Whatever happened to the player-owned house altar to change your spellbook?
The design's still there. We just haven't offered you it yet because we don't have the time in our current schedule to actually get it done. It'll be offered at some point.
Yeah.
Soon.
Certainly next year at some point. I think
Yeah.
it's a good thing to do.
Like it's been
Very good
fully
thing to do.
fleshed out design. Just needs plugging into a schedule.
Yeah.
Is anybody asking kind of like, what happened to this really cool idea? Why haven't you done it yet? If you looked at all of our updates for every Thursday for the last however many weeks, there's always something.
Yeah.
And even if one looks like a bit of a drier week, that's because it's building up for the big update that comes the next week. So
Yeah.
there haven't been weeks where nothing's happened.
Yeah, it's really quite difficult because there's 101 things we want to do, 101 things that you want to do, and they're all good ideas. So we have to sit there and go, what is the priority? What's the most important things to do? Because at the end of the day, we haven't got time to do 101 ideas for everybody. As much as we'd love to do everything, we have to sort of prioritise what we can do, and there's always going to be some stuff that's going to take the back burner, and that's one of them.
All right. TV Cheese, change colors of potions for the Ceremon Brew and Strength Potion. They are the same, and people are getting scammed.
Didn't we recently offer to change the colour of a potion? Was it magic?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
Did it-
magic.
Pass?
Changed, yeah.
Yeah,
That
magic
actually
changed,
changed.
and they complain still. But
Yeah, because it wasn't. That's the colour. they
Somebody
wanted.
can look at the text when they're accepting stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, it's not a very time
Yeah,
relevant.
It's
well,
much easier to tell now than it was before between magic and ranged.
Until you get to Jad and realize you have 20 strength pots.
Whatever we change one of those colours to, it's going to look like another potion. We just don't have. There are not enough colours in the spectrum of the amount of potions we've got. So I think we need to look at the wider issue and come up, like we said earlier on in the stream, with another
Spotty
way
potions.
to
Tartan potions.
to recognise
We could
potions.
do some kind of like fades, one that fades from one to another. Something
That
like
would be nice, but Maz was shaking her head at me when I said that, so I'm guessing that's not going to happen.
Okay.
Not enough pixels on the in the thing to make it look nice.
Fair.
Different shaped bottles, of course, is the other way.
Yeah, you know, we'll just have to do flasks, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to kick off the chat.
You know what? We haven't gotten a single question like ever about flasks. Nobody really wants them in Old School, I guess.
Yeah, I think that probably answers that one. Yeah.
It do seriously affects a whole lot of the game's Slayer combat, bossing.
It's fair.
Yeah.
We've got time for a few more questions here. Nosy, can you guys make it so it's not possible to receive the same lumberjack outfit piece twice from temple trekking once you got it?
We could very easily.
That's just cruel.
It is a single line change. Wouldn't be very fair to all of the people that have already gone out and slaved for the 20 odd hours of RNG to go and get their full outfit. So I'm inclined to say no.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's half the point of it. I think.
I particularly love that very evil piece of content as well. It's one of my favourites.
Yeah.
Let's try to get the last of these done before we're done here. Sapphirion, can we have for the buff? Sorry, can we have for the buff for the dwarven helmet stats are too poor for the requirement? What?
I think someone's asking for a buff to the dwarven helmet. It is actually, I think, the second best helm in the heads. Yeah, the second best helm for crush attack bonus behind the serpentine helm. Off the top of my head, there's not a whole lot of good crush weapons. I mean, we've just added the abyssal bludgeon, and the Hasta is kind of used for it, but not really. It's more for stab. But it does have a niche use. So, given how cheap and easy they are to get hold of as well, making it any better isn't really going to happen.
Indeed.
Indeed.
That sentence didn't really flow, but you got the idea.
That's all right. I flagged as well as the question.
Okay. Helomdu, can we have an interface at your stats saved screen which shows the value of your own key?
Yeah, that's a nice idea.
Could probably be done. Ian is working on a rework to the death interface in Deadman mode to show you the various different death scenarios that we now have, because I think there's 4.
There's a bunch.
He may be able to squeeze that on as well. We'll take it to him and see what he says.
Yeah. All right. Getting some weird looks from the art guys. I think they're ready for their Zeah stream.
They're pointing frantically at each other.
Helomdu again. Can we have it? Oh, sorry, that's the same question. Sacco, can we add a swamp to our player-owned house?
You can add a jar of swamp to your player-owned achievement gallery when it gets polled, passes, and launched.
They'd like to own the swamp, I think.
And the exam info will, of course, be, this is my swamp.
Yes.
All right.
This is John C's swamp.
Memers. Get out of here.
Memers, man.
Did you want to talk?
Yeah, you said a meme. You said the meme.
Yeah.
Unforgivable. Free Fiddy. If Zeah doesn't have better XP rates or better equipment, what's the point of it existing?
It doesn't. I mean, the equipment thing. It's not a case of the equipment will make anything else redundant. What we've looked at is rewards which either don't exist in game, fill a gap in game. So, for example, your blood runes, your soul runes, they'll both be craftable. They won't be better XP, but they are a new way of using blood and soul, getting blood and soul runes, which you'll need for your different way of training prayer through the Necromancy spellbook. So it's lots of different stuff which may be more useful for people to do and more enjoyable for people to do than currently exists. So it's not better. The whole point about it was not making anything else redundant. So that's what we've aimed to do with that.
That's the exact point. Is, saying what's the point of it if it doesn't give you the best XP? Well, not everybody enjoys, chopping the same tree for however many hours. Maybe they want to go and do something a bit more enjoyable at slightly less experience per hour.
Exactly. And there will be some areas in there which will be more beneficial for you to use when it comes to maybe getting items. So there's a mining spot in there which you need to get the right amount of alignment with the right house to get to. There's the, like I said, the soul and blood altars. There's the new farming patches, which if you want to get the best farming XP, you're going to need to unlock as many farming patches as possible as well. Right. As well as spending your downtime doing the mini game and what have you. So, there are ways to help you get the best XP if you are doing these things for a particular skill.
Cool. I think we're just about out of time for the Q&A today, so we're going to head over to the Let's Design Zeah art stream.
Possibly.
Hopefully. Don't go anywhere. Aside from that, we'll thank you for watching and catch you next Thursday.
Sure, bye.
Right.
Hello.